coaches of all sports and all age groups to learn from coaches and people they may otherwise never have the chance to meet. How tightly do you hold on to your philosophies? There are some philosophies I've adopted over my years, I'm 32, that kind of has shaped my identity and guide my decision making. They're kind of like I like to use the metaphor, like they're like a North Star for me that guide me and I use to answer questions when I'm facing a decision or a challenge. So some of my own are, and I've shared them with you on here in the past, but do all the good you can with all the time you have. And beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself. Be bold. It's a game. They are kids. What goes around comes around. And I share this with you because my challenge for you is what are your philosophies and how tightly do you hold on to them? And I'm going to tell you a quick story because sometimes I have a hard time, especially during soccer, where my priorities shift and I don't always eat a good breakfast or a good lunch. And I don't always work out and I don't always get to bed on time. And I don't always follow up with my patients like I should. And I was telling this to a friend and he asked me, why? Why don't you work out? Or why don't you, eat a good lunch or whatever it was? And I told him my philosophies, right? Do all the good you can with all the time you have. And, what else do I have in there? It's a game. They're kids. And you give me 100%, I'll give you 200%, that kind of thing. And he pointed to a rock. And I now keep this rock on my desk. He said, hold the rock. So I did. And then he said, okay, hold it tighter. And squeeze it. So I squeezed it kind of lightly. He said, squeeze it harder. So I did. And he said, even harder than that. And I squeezed it. And then eventually I just caught an edge of it. And I had to let go. And he said, why'd you let go? And I said, well, it started to hurt. And he challenged me on that. And he said, if you hold on so tightly to those philosophies, right, do all the good you can with all the time you had. That was the real big one. You might hurt yourself. Right? Maybe what you can do is you can have that philosophy. You can hold on to it loosely. Right? Hold it maybe between two fingers. The minute you start to wrap yourself around it and let it become a part of who you are, you're going to get into dangerous territory. You might end up hurting yourself. Right? And if you're squeezing that one so tightly, your fingers are so occupied by holding that thing that you can't even entertain the idea of other ideas, of other philosophies. You're not going to be able to grow if you are holding on so tightly to that philosophy. And man, that opened my eyes. So now I hold it loosely. All of those thoughts, I hold them. So they're there. I can run them in between my fingers. I can see them from a distance. I can appreciate that they're there. They're not going to hurt me. I'm not going to hold on to them so tightly that I put myself in harm's way, kind of thing. Right? So now I am more conscious and more aware of what? Take time and go work out. The other stuff can wait. The priorities can shift a little bit. This rock sits on my desk, literally. Just reminds me. Be gentle with yourself and hold it loosely. Hold on to that philosophy loosely, because that's what's going to let me grow and take care of myself, right? So that's my challenge for you is what philosophies do you have? How tightly are you holding on to them? Are you holding it so tight that you couldn't put one down and pick up another one? A little deep on you today, but I appreciate you hanging out with me and entertaining me through that. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you for spending some time with me today. Keep getting better every day.